Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. Look, computers are hard to explain, Alpha. Well, it's like a big memory bank. It's something that stores and processes information. Ow! Did you just take my memories of previous bosses I've encountered? What do you mean you're giving the computer information? No, Alpha, it's not a good idea. Time to learn about Sigmascape version 3. Simplified. At times during the fight, the boss will turn to a random party member and cast Magitech Ray, which will charge up a beam and fire in a straight line AoE. If you get hit by this, it is a heavy hit with a Vuln stack. To avoid this attack, just move to the side of whichever way it is facing. Arm and Hammer is a tank buster. Diffractive Plasma is a room-wide AoE. One player will be marked with a red orb over their head and a prey marker. After a few seconds, this player will be hit with Missile, which will give them a burns debuff for 12 seconds. Guardian will tether itself to the giant machine in the north and cast Load while projecting an image on the screen behind it. There are 4 programs that can be loaded by Guardian: Dadaluma, Air Force, Ultros, and Bibliotaph. You can tell which one it loads by the image that it casts on the screen. When the boss loads Dadaluma, it will cast Shockwave, which is a big knockback from Guardian's position. You'll need to position yourself close to the boss and get knocked back towards the furthest point in the arena, or you can use knockback immunity to nullify it. If you don't do this and you're knocked into the wall, you'll get the unassumable debuff of Shocked, which acts like a paralysis, but it is also a dot tick. 8 bright orbs with circles underneath them will spawn in, 4 in the middle and 4 on the outside. All players must stand in these circles, 1 circle for each player. The orbs will begin to get smaller until they pop. If a circle isn't being stood in when they pop, it will explode and hit everyone in the party. Dadaluma will then spawn in one corner of the arena, burst it down as fast as possible. He will only cast Aura Cannon, which is a big straight line AoE. When the boss loads Air Force, it will quickly cast a medium-sized point-blank AoE around itself. You just need to break away from the boss if you're in melee range for a few seconds. If you get hit by this, it is a Vuln stack and a 5-second stun. Guardian will then cast Missile Simulation. This will spawn missiles that will slowly move in a straight line across the arena. Dodge the missiles as best you can. If you get hit by a missile, it is a really hard hit with a Vuln stack and can potentially one-shot you if you don't have decent gear. After the missiles have disappeared, there will be 2 dynamite bombs that will spawn somewhere in the arena. There will be 2 colored sections on each side of the dynamite, red and blue. You will need to wait for whichever colored section of each bomb lights up first. That is the side that you will need to step into to defuse it. If you don't do this or you step into the wrong color, it will explode and give everyone in the raid a Vuln stack. After this, Air Force will spawn in a corner of the arena, which will need to be taken by the off-tank. It will cast Diffractive Laser, which is a big conal AoE that you'll need to dodge out of. When the boss loads Ultros, it will spawn in medium-sized AoEs below every player. You'll just need to get away from them to avoid them. You can bait these together by stacking up and increasing your safe zone of where you can move. The boss will then cast Tentacle Simulation and spawn 4 AoEs below random party members. Tentacles will burst out from these AoEs and target party members with thick straight line AoEs. Just avoid the AoEs as best you can. After the tentacles slam on the ground, Ultros will spawn in a corner of the arena. Players will need to burst down Ultros as quickly as possible. When Ultros spawns in, Guardian will become untargetable and begin to hover above the arena. It will target one member of the party and put a thin yellow tether to the ground where that player was standing. It will begin to shoot at the ground in an untelegraphed AoE. Players just need to move away from this area to avoid any unnecessary damage. After a few shots or when Ultros has been defeated, a proximity marker will be placed on this space. Move away from it to reduce the overall damage to you. When the proximity marker goes off, Guardian will return to the arena. When the boss loads Bibliotaph, it will spawn in 6 rings with 3 glowing circles in them and begin casting Demon Simulation. Players will need to move around the arena and lock down each ring by having the same number of players as there are glowing circles standing in each ring. The easiest way to combat this is to have 2 groups of 3 players stay together and lock down 3 rings each. If a ring fails to be locked down by the time the cast ends, an ad will spawn in which will need to be dealt with. After this, the Bibliotaph will spawn in a corner of the arena. Burst it down as fast as possible. It can cast Deep Darkness, which is a large donut AoE, and Magic Burst, which is a large point-blank AoE around the Bibliotaph, which will give you a knockback if you get hit by it. From here, Guardian will cycle through the 4 programs and mechanics will overlap and repeat until it has been defeated. Congratulations, you have defeated Omega 7. My name is the Scrub. Thank you for watching.